Ladies and gentlemen, want to thank you again for tuning in. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And like always, be sure to leave a like. And like always, I want to apologize for the loud air noises. I'm an ALS patient, and I'm using my respiratory medication device to help me breathe pretty good. And today's topic, the Carolina Panthers. Will they improve in the 2025 season and give themselves a chance at the NFC South? Led by head coach Dave Canales. 5-12 last year for the 2024 season. Third in the NFC South. I think he's going to have some pressure on him this year. The owners and GMs are like, man, can you get us above 500? Get us a good, little playoff run? But those owners and GMs are not realizing what they got on offense and what they got on defense. Sports Illustrated said the Panthers virtually have nothing on offense. They have the second worst collection of skilled position players in the entire NFL. And I'm like, well, that's nothing new. I mean, they haven't had any talent or any big explosive players or team play since the Super Bowl in 2015. Despite all their efforts over the years, it's still a wasteland on offense. Outside veteran Adam Thielen. But let's not forget, they did draft Jimmy Horn in the 6th round of this year's NFL draft. They say he's not a deep threat, but his reliable route running and quick burst will make him a great target for Bryce Young. And while the backfield will try to get out there and get after it with C. Hubbard and Rico Dowdle. Hubbard went over 1,000 yards last year. And I'm curious to see what the draft pick Trevor Etienne is going to do. While at Florida, he rushed for a fancy 753 yards. And while at Georgia, he rushed for 609. Beat Texas in that 2024 SEC championship game. Now, one thing that I think that could help the Carolina Panthers, but really in general it could help any team, is the O-line. I mean, Bryce Young got sacked 29 times. That should have been something that they got to correct and worked on throughout the offseason and this preseason coming up. The Carolina Panthers got Ike Ekwonu at left tackle, Damian Lewis at left guard, added him in the offseason. At center, you got Austin Corbett. He'll be battling Cade Mays for the starting role during the preseason. Robert Hunt at right guard. He's a Pro Bowler. And Taylor Moton at right tackle. And is this a top 10 unit? I don't know. We just have to wait and see. But it sounds like it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Those guys there, I think they can, get out there, get after it, open up some holes for the running backs, and keep Bryce Young up. Just those 29 sacks last year. You don't want to see nothing like that. Let's take a look at their tight ends right quick. They signed this guy, Colin Granger, from Coastal Carolina, a basketball player turned tight end. He had two choices to make: either go overseas, play basketball, or come to the NFL and try to find a spot. And he found it with the Carolina Panthers. He hasn't played football since the 8th grade. Man, what a story that's going to be. Remember, you heard it first over here at NFL Fry. And now, listen to this. They got one of the best tight ends from over the last 7 years in Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews. Man, I mean, you know how good he is. What he did at the Ravens, he had 11 touchdowns last year. And also, currently, Dave Canales has 6 tight ends on the roster with that Mark Andrews trade. This could help their deep passing attack by taking advantage of these big underneath targets. Now, let's take a look at the Carolina quarterbacks with Bryce Young and Andy Dalton. Bryce Young had 2,403 passing yards, while Andy Dalton had 989. Bryce Young finished with a 61% completion rate, 15 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Thinking back on last season, Bryce Young, he had pretty rough of a season. Had got benched, but then again, later on during the season, he got back in there, got a couple of wins, showed some improvements, and I was like, I was amazed. I was like, oh man, that's what the number one pick need to do. Whenever you get down, just get back up. Keep on giving it 100%. And during these mini camps this last month, Bryce Young been kind of stepping up, trying to be a leader, doing a little trash talk. But I know you can't say trash talk is from leaders, but it been kind of going back and forth with his defense. Telling them to have courage in their defense. One of the guys had overheard Bryce Young call a play, and the defense took that play and just gave it around to everybody on defense. So I guess they could have a better shot at the offense on that play. And Bryce Young heard about it and got, kind of upset and talked trash to the defense. So that's kind of let me know that Bryce Young, he's trying to step it up this season. Or, that's what he's going to try to do. That's what it sounds like. Got a little fire in him. Now, let's talk about their defense for a second. I mean, just take a listen at this. Carolina Panthers defense last year was the worst defense in NFL history. They gave up more than 525 points. And despite all of that, they still want to keep Ejiro Evero. This was his second season, but I guess they feel like they need to give him maybe 1 or 2 more years. Xavier Woods had the most solo tackles at 72. And will Shaq Thompson bounce back from that leg injury? And they also got Jose Jewell as an inside linebacker. And I think they're going to be highly counting on Thompson and Jewell as those inside linebackers. And they also drafted Trevor Wallace in the 3rd round from Kentucky. On the defensive line, they drafted some edge runners. Nick Scott and Princely Human. A key player on that defensive line by the name of Nick Brown will be returning from injury. The Panthers defense typically has 4 down linemen in a 3-4 scheme. The Panthers have a lot of work to do. They gave up over 3,000 rushing yards. Their defensive back unit is highlighted by quarterbacks J.C. Horn and Trevor Hill. Excuse me, that's Troy Hill. While Xavier Woods and Jordan Fuller are going to be the starting safeties. J.C. Horn was a 1st-round pick. This group was accounted for giving up 225 passing yards a game out of these DBs and corners. So coming up and throughout the offseason, everybody just looking around, making sure that these guys are going to know what they're doing and get everything on the wraps to bring those numbers down. And just looking at it from my perspective, everybody, Carolina Panthers, they got a lot of work to do. I hope this coming up training camp gets them in good shape and just, get ready for this preseason and just take it from there. Like all the NFL teams. I mean, you just got to take it 1 week at a time, practice after practice. I mean, dead last or in first place. Somebody, just got to give 100%. If you lose a play, come back out, see what you did wrong, and just get it right. And before I go, here's something for everybody to think about. If the Carolina Panthers improve, what do you know? Could they be in it for the NFC South? Let me know. And that's my segment for today, guys. And I'll just get in the comments. Let me know what I got wrong, what I got right. And I really do appreciate you guys tuning in. Be on the lookout for more. And like I say, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And thank you all.